Now we have done the customer model, lead model. Leads will have the messages that has been done for follow up and uh, sent by client or whatever it is. It's the latest update what's going on in the lead. Now let's create a messages table. I'm creating messages table using the migration. Messages table name should be always message messages MSSAGES. Table name should be always in plural. Now what are the fields that should be in the message table? We have to keep it very simple so that it can be visible. Generally what happens is if you keep on adding the features, then the CRM becomes very heavy with too many features. Then it's very difficult for user to use the features. So we have to make sure that our team uses the CRM and gets the maximum benefit of the CRM system. Now let's see. It would be sorry. It would be it's messages, then tables. Okay, message table has been created. Now what should be there? What should be the details in the message table? Things should be one is string, and it should be, what should we say, that message. Only the table name will be is messages. So let's make some meaningful name, text, or we can say body. And it should be not a body, we have to use text because string has only 256 characters. So we have to make sure this is, I think, text is one type of variable. Let's check in the Laravel migration text length. Let's see what's the length of the text. This is a live project, and I'm not using any editing method, so that you can see what actually goes on behind the programming. You have to keep on thinking what should be there. If you don't think, then you won't be able to create a better system for the customer. When you are working, you have to think like it's your own system. Even if you are working for a client, you should have to think like it's your own system. See, first I used like string, but string has a limitation of 256 characters, so I change it to body don't have any limit, so because there will be a lot of content coming up. So migration tables has been done, and yeah, one thing is more, dollar table uh, integer migration will be always associated with the lead, correct? Lead underscore id. It can't be without any like parent. So message will be always belong to lead, correct? Now let's run the migration refresh. Now our table is created. Now what we have to do is, next we have to create a model. Model, in case if you are not aware, model is duplicate. Model name should be singular, so message. If you don't understand anything, you can write in the comment box, and I will do my best to explain you. Message. Now model is a like link that works between database and the system. You don't have to write anything, just a few line of code and it's done. Now uh, how can we make things simple? Leads is there. There is no leads, no customer. Let's add one lead. It has like Brijesh. Product is like I have got a lead of CRM development, and some title over here, and amount something something something. Let's submit. Okay. Now uh, these are the leads, correct? So the leads will be having a lot of message and will be displaying the last message, that is last communication done by the medium and the client, correct? It can be like response from the client or message from the BDM. So what should be the best thing? What I think is like, if you click on here, then it should show the list of all the messages related to this project. That should be a good idea, correct? So let's create a list. Then okay, close, just close unnecessary stuff, else sometimes by mistake you will change the code. Now okay, let's create one folder, render the view. This is reduced, duplicate it. So duplicating will save your time. Message okay. Now we have message views customers. Let's duplicate this one. Duplicate, not rename, because we don't want to create unnecessary files, correct? Messages, correct? These should be have list of messages, and once this is done we can have like message list, so that we know like this template is loaded. Now control P, and let's go to the web is a router, and all our messages should be starting from here. Let's comment it, messages, MASSAGES. Nowadays we don't care much about the spelling, because I use Grammarly to check the spelling in the final output. Okay, now first of all we have to create one controller also, correct? Let's create a controller. Let's duplicate the controller. Last controller we created is of this is the model, correct? Controller will be in F, HTTP folder and in controllers. Last controller we created was of lead. Let's duplicate it. Duplicate, and it should be singular. MESS message controller. It's done. Now name this to message controller. This is a class, this is a function, this is index file. Okay, when this index file is loaded, we have to load a view. The name, it's in which folder? Message SS, and the name of template is messages. This is really nice system coming up, but make sure don't make it complicated. Always keep the systems very simple, else nobody will be using it, correct? So now this is the lead controller, correct? Now we will get messages paste. Messages, MESS messages. When I type on the, when the URL will have messages URL, then we will load message controller and call a function that is index. Control C. Now let's check. Okay, there is an error which is expecting. Don't get afraid of these errors. Unless and until you don't get error, you won't able to know what's going on in the system. Many people are afraid of errors. Messages dot bleed. You should never get afraid of the errors, correct? We need to solve errors. Let's delete this part for which I already know what's the going on, but if in case if you are not knowing, see, this is the error. It will show like, okay, messages.blade has an error and customer is not defined, correct? Now we have removed the customers. Now there won't be any error, correct? Simple. So message list. Now what should be there in the message list? First thing is like, first we need to add a message, correct? Without adding message, how will we know the message? So now how do you want to display the message? Let's do one thing. This is a table, correct? And message should be, how can we make it more simpler? See, now one thing is like, we can have a list of all the messages, correct? Let's say table is starting from here, Let's put it something like that. List of all the messages. Messages, correct. List of all the messages. Now, when I go back to the lists and when I click on this project, it should only show list only the list of messages that are relevant to this project, not all, correct. So let's create few messages. So for that, what we need to do is this message folder is for all the messages, not for particular project. So what should we do? A better solution will be to create a separate template. I can use the same template and use if logic and all that, but that will unnecessarily complicate the thing. So let's make it very simple, correct. So very simple is Control C, copy it. Okay, now it's a single message, correct. So let's say single message, and we can pass an ID. Dollar, how to pass ID? Dollar ID, correct. So it will pass an id is the lead id, correct, and message controller, and let's say message, because it's a single message, correct. So get method, and it should display single message. So now let's create a message in the a method in the controller, message controller. Okay, copy it, remove the unnecessary things, keep your file very neat and clean, correct, because if the code will grow, then it will become very messy, and you yourself or I myself won't be able to know which file is loading and what. MES message, correct, and here we are also passing an ID, correct, and we will load message table, correct, message view. Now we need to create a view also, view messages. Let's see where this is available in the sidebar. Okay, duplicate it, let's make it single, one message. Now let's check if I pass a message, and then ID is 1, correct. Okay, this is not showing. Let's check what's the issue is. What it's saying, 404 means something is wrong. What is wrong? Message, and then there is ID, message, MESSAG, spelling is correct, this is correct, 404 is there. Now this expects a parameter. Let's see, message 404 means page not found. I guess this is not reaching over here. Let's do by. Now I am here. This is live session. I am not editing or modifying the screens. Now let's check on Laravel. You don't have to mug up the code, like you can search on the Google Laravel passing value in route, correct. Just check two things and you will know how it is passed. Greetings and user. I guess I have a typo mistake in passing the parameter. Where is the parameter? Okay, here you can see the parameter dollar. Okay, this is the ID. I guess I have done it wrong. Dollar is not required, okay? So it's very simple. Okay, I'm here. Now what's the next thing you have to do? So we are already here, so we are reaching till the controller, and let's delete it. Okay, list of all the messages. So one message list, correct. Now in the one message list, what we need to do, first thing is list of all the messages, one message list. Let's first add a form. uh, let's make our code very simple. This is a card and I just need one message text area, correct? So we are using admin LT, go and copy some text area where it has any text area. It should have some text area. Okay, this is the text area, very nice text area. We simply need to copy it. So copy, and you need to complete this form, and let's put it over here. It is a card box, correct? So you need to make sure it's in the card box. Let's put it, don't worry about anything, first paste it, and then we will see what's happening. You can fix it out. Okay, make it look nicer. This way should be inside here. Okay, and we don't need a placeholder. Let's see. Oh, sorry, this is the thing. Okay, nice, this one is nice. Let me make it a bit smaller. See, very nice text area, and here we can write message. Enter message. Enter message, correct? Okay, enter message. Here you can add enter message, and we can also have one beautiful looking button. Now where can we find a button? We have already used at many places, correct? We can simply copy it. Lead, add. In this form we have a button. Just copy the button from here. Button, footer, class footer. Okay, we need to also copy it. Copy. Just make sure div starting, div ending, correct? And this is the div. Let's put it first, and then we will see. We also need to add the form. Message. Sometimes I forget what I do. Paste it. Let's see if it looks good. Yeah, looks good. Cancel, but this should go inside over here, correct? So let's put it over here and see how it looks. Yeah, fine, this is okay. Okay, looks okay. Okay, now, so this is the message, and now what we need to do is, first of all, we need to we have already created a migration table, correct? So once if somebody is adding a message, we need to, so forget the form, correct? So don't forget the form, because without form it won't submit the message, correct? Message controller, and add. Let's see where the form is opening. We will also know require CSRF. CSRF is token for security purpose, so that nobody else can post something in your form, correct? Now form is ready. One list message, we don't need to, we can remove this one. One list message, or what can we name it? Just a message will be enough, correct? It's self-explanatory. Make sure like you make things more meaningful, so that it can be easy. It will be easy and can be used by many or others. Now message, if somebody is typing a message, we will show it at the list of message. Now the ID pass is 1, correct? So now how will you pass the ID over here? Because we will, to store the thing, we will need to uh, if you want, you can just this is a section, correct? So you can just minimize it. If you want, you can also make this as a separate partials, and then render it dynamically, but we will keep the thing small. Sorry, we will keep the thing simple. Form is there, form post action is done, and okay, what we need to do is, like once we have posted, we need to redirect it on the same page, correct? Now let's create a method. First of all, we need to pass a hidden field. Why we need to pass a hidden field? Input I will show you. This will be, first I will do like a text, and then lead id value will be the value that we will pass. This is coming from the URL, so let's see if we can directly get it using the PHP. I'm not sure, but we can always test out the things. PHP, equal, if you are good at PHP, then it's very easy for you. Dollar underscore get, and then what is that ID? Remember? Let's hope if this work. No, it's not working. So in Laravel you can't directly pass. What you have to do? Router. Where is the router? This is the router, and then you can pass ID. Compact. Compact is a function which accepts variable payments. And now this compact is a function of PHP, and it converts ID into key value pair. It's difficult sometimes to explain the things unless, so you have to do practical. You have to do practical to understand things. Now where is our ID? This message, let's close this one. Add, we don't need this one. Sometimes too many tabs is confusing, so correct. So let's remove this one. Always first check if you are getting all the parameters or not. Okay, see, we're getting ID. If I change the parameter, say 3, then it will show 3. Okay, so this is called get method in PHP. Okay, so now lead, and we can hide this, correct. Now make it double. Now this one is ready. Now let's break this lecture into two parts. I will stop here, and in the next lecture I will show you how to store this message and then get the list of messages. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.